Hey everybody, Drummer Ruben here once again. Today I want to share some information about how to get started playing double bass drums. Although there are no rules or absolutes when playing double bass, here are a few suggestions and concepts to think about when first getting started. Where you sit in relation to your bass drum or drums and how high or low you sit are probably the first things you should consider. Everybody sits differently, but your seat should be positioned where, when your arms are relaxed at your side and your elbows are bent at about a 90-degree angle, your sticks can reach the center of the snare drum. When your hands are at their lowest point, they should not interfere with the up and down motion of your legs. How close you position yourself to the drum is also an important factor. If you sit too far back, you're probably going to experience back problems. But if you sit too close, your legs will eventually cramp up. Your legs should always be in a natural position. Finding the proper sitting balance for your body type is critical for relaxed playing. Check how your left foot feels on the hi-hat as well as the second bass drum. Your feet should be in a natural position in relation to the pedal board. In general, you should sit at a height where your thighs are parallel to the floor. Of course, experiment with different seat heights until you feel comfortable. The position of your feet on the pedals is the next thing to consider. Finding the sweet spot to get the most volume, speed, and control with the least amount of expended energy is your goal. Here's one way to find that spot. Place your foot at the top of the pedal board and play simple quarter notes. Then slide your foot down in 1-inch increments until you reach the point where your volume doubles with no change in effort. That's your sweet spot. Adjusting the pedal beater position is another point to consider. The shaft should be set to a height where the beater strikes as close to the center of the head as possible. If you're looking for more power, the beater starting point should be as far back as possible without hitting your foot. Remember, there are no absolutes. Pedal tension is also very personal. A good place to begin to find the feel that's right for you is a medium tension. But keep in mind that if the tension is too loose, the beater will flop, and very tight spring will have you fighting the pedal. You should be able to push the pedal with a strong but relaxed motion and get a comfortable response. While you can play double bass with a heels up or a heels down approach, I recommend that you play the pedals with the balls of your feet, keeping your heels as close to the pedal boards as possible but not planted on them. Don't lift your heels too high, as that will create a lot of strain in your legs. Your foot should remain low to the ground. Be sure to keep your legs as relaxed as possible. What are the differences between using two bass drums and using a double pedal? Both setups have their own advantages and disadvantages. Double pedals give you more even articulation, attack, and sound. Two bass drums give you a wider, broader sound. Using two bass drums of the same size but tuned differently or playing two different size bass drums can give you a variety of pitches to work with. And of course, the convenience and portability of playing a double pedal are obvious. Most studio and live sound engineers prefer only dealing with one bass drum. Two bass drums also bring out the challenge of increased physical movement because they expand the kit. With double bass, you might have to stretch a little to reach your toms and cymbals. To a certain extent, singles are easier to play on double pedals, just like singles played by the hands are easier on one drum than split between two. But broken up figures are a bit easier to play on two bass drums. When is the best time to play double bass? As in all musical situations, good taste should always prevail. Remember, too much of a good thing can quickly turn into a very bad thing. Pick your spots for the greatest musical effect. You can play busy with taste, but music without contrast becomes boring. Double bass works great at the end of phrases and sections of tunes. The power of double bass can take the music to a higher dynamic level, but be careful not to overplay the music. Use double bass in spurts. Look for the holes in the music to maximize its effect. Double bass should enhance an already complete drummer. Double bass should not be a substitute for a weak single foot. And don't forget the hi-hat pedal. It shouldn't be a footrest when you're not playing double bass. Musical hi-hat work is a very important quality of a complete drummer. Double bass techniques are great when integrated into grooves or when used as an embellishment of a rhythmic figure. Just as you would use ruffs and flams to embellish a figure played with your hands, fills are a terrific place to use double bass too. Of course, double bass is great for soloing. You can lay down an ostinato with it, or integrate it into a combination of hand and foot rhythmic figures. Use your double bass technique for musical innovation and to propel the music forward. And one other important piece of advice: don't play double bass drums just because they are there. Play them only when their inclusion adds something meaningful to the music. The technique of double bass drumming has developed tremendously during the past 50 or so years. Although no one can predict the future, technical innovations have a way of becoming commonplace. A complete incorporation of double strokes seems to be the next technical advance. The ability to play paradiddles, double paradiddles, paradiddle diddles, and various multi-stroke rolls in one's feet is the next frontier to conquer. Remember, if it's playable with your hands, theoretically, it's playable with your feet. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope it was helpful. Please remember to like and subscribe, and rock on.